I wanted to do a little 25-week bump update properly in the mirror, because every time I do them on these vlogs, it never looks as big. I think it's because I'm wearing clothes, but here is me in my pants. This is 25 weeks, coming to the end of 25 weeks actually, so this is nearly 26 weeks, which is nearly the 3rd trimester, oh my gosh. But yeah, this is bump. I've had some porridge today and a big pint of water just, so there's a little bit of bloating going on, but yeah, you can see baby's house all around there. It's incredible really. Still no stretch marks as of yet, but I'm sure I'll get some along the way. But yeah, that's bump. It's amazing. I'm just about to take my bump pictures, which is what made me think of it, so yeah. Do I look pregnant from the front? A little bit, yeah. But definitely from the side. Oh my goodness. They've been kicking like mad this morning. They've really been going for it. So yeah, it's an active day today, I think. It depends on which position they're in, I think. But the other day, they obviously had their foot on this side here, and they were kicking so much. It was moving my tummy and you could really feel it. So obviously like the placenta's around there, so they weren't kicking through the placenta when they were kicking up there, and it was really strong and it was so nice. But then they obviously must have moved, because I think the last couple of days it's been sort of, I've been feeling them kicking down more into my bladder, which has not been fun. But yeah, so it depends on the position that they're in, but yeah, I've been pretty active today. I think like around about down there, so, but yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so proud of my body. I'm so proud. Oh, another thing to note this past week is that my sickness has started to creep back in. And I'm not too happy about that. I kind of thought it might happen because we're nearing the 3rd trimester, so you know, it does sometimes come back in the 3rd trimester, I've read. It's nowhere near as bad, it's fine. Currently, like, it's like 1:30 in the afternoon, I'm feeling just a little bit green, but it goes away when I eat, so I'm still able to eat and drink, which is very good. And I'm finding that if I'm just sort of drinking like some water with some like sugar-free squash in, something with a bit of flavour, it tends to quieten it down a little bit, especially if the drink is really cold. So that's kind of like been my go-to. I'm kind of like just walking around with a big pint glass of squash all the time. But yeah, that seems to help and I can still eat, so I'm happy about that. It's just a bit like, oh, I can feel it creeping in. It's been like more days than not this week that I felt sick during the day. So yeah, it just can stay like this. This is fine. But just not really much more than that, please. That'd be great. Just making some porridge and then I'll be right with you. I've started this update and then realised that actually I haven't got as much time as I thought I had. Hang on. Hello, welcome to 26 weeks. I can't remember the last time I updated you. I'm just kind of like picking up the camera as and when I think of things. But we had a little bit of a worry yesterday. So, you know, I think about a month ago I went in to the daytime in the hospital. Our midwife wanted to see us because I was a little bit concerned that, you know, we'd had like a flurry of activity and then not a lot at all. So they booked us in and it was a little 5-minute scan with the Doppler to double check that everything was okay. And yeah, that was my kind of like first experience with the whole reduced movements thing. However, the last couple of days, currently 26 weeks pregnant, the last couple of days, baby's movements haven't been the same. So we've got our anterior placenta, which means that sometimes, depending on the position they're in, they can feel a lot more faint than others. So it wasn't necessarily the fact that they were feeling faint, because that for me is normal at times. It was the fact that they have a pattern now, they have a routine when they kick during the day, and they were not following that routine at all. And the movements were just, but they were fainter, but they were also a lot less. And they weren't moving when they normally move, and with the things that we do to normally make them move, they just weren't working. So we phoned the midwife unit and told them this, and they were like, you need to come in straight away, we will see you tonight. So we're like, okay, a little bit of a panic, but we're staying calm. So we took our books, we thought we might be in for a wait, and we went in and we sat down, and they triaged you at first, so they put the Doppler on and they found the heartbeat, but it was very, very faint. So they then said, right, we need to go through to the next assessment. So we sat in the waiting room. I think it was about 4 hours we sat there, which is what we were expecting. So it's totally fine. Like I said, we got our books and we bought water and tea and everything, so it's all cool. And they called us in to the assessment room, and also they rank you by emergency. So the fact that it took us 4 hours to be seen was a good sign. That was a really good sign, because if they see you straight away, it means that they're more concerned. So I think we were on like the bottom level of concern, but they still wanted to double check. So they brought us through, put us in the ward and got me to lie on a bed, and then they strapped me into this CTG machine, I think it's called, where they put the things on your tummy and they give you a button to press, and you press this button every time you feel movement, and it basically tracks baby's heartbeat and it tracks the movement and it plots it on a graph, and the midwives can look at it to see if the movement rate is like normal for what they should be doing. And she sat us there and she said, look, this can take up to an hour for us to get the right readings, and sometimes after an hour we still haven't got the readings, we have to do it again. So don't panic, because you have to call them over when it goes green or something. Like there's a little purple thing, and when it goes green you call them over and it's got the reading it needs. Of course, our little baby turns into a flipping Olympic gymnast as soon as that flipping machine goes on my tummy. And they were doing flips, they were kicking, they were punching. Honestly, it was the strongest kicks I have felt this entire time. And they were moving, like the monitor was on my tummy, and they were moving it. There was two, and it was like doom, 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 moving things. They were kicking that strong, and we were sat there like, are you joking me? Are you joking me? And our thing went green within about 10 minutes. So much so the midwife came in and she was like, this is amazing, this is looking great, this is normal. Like we often see that they have increased activity when they're on the machine, because they really like to hear their own heartbeat, and it tends to sort of like jiggle them around a little bit. So she was like, but because your report's so short, it's happened so quickly, I need to keep you on there for another 15 minutes. So we had to stay there for another 15 minutes and keep going with it. And she looked at it and she was like, I'm really happy with this. I think everything's fine, but I want to send you in for a scan tomorrow to just double check. So today is tomorrow. I'm just having some porridge, and then I'm going to drive over to go for this scan. And I think it's like if they haven't scanned you within 2 weeks and you come in for something like this, they like to just do a scan to double check. So she was like, honestly, I think everything's fine, so don't panic, we just want to double check. So yeah, unfortunately Chris can't come with me today because it's super last minute and he's at work, but it's, you know, it's not like one of those cute scans. It's just gonna, I think, just a quick checkup and whatever. I will close my eyes so I don't accidentally see anything that I'm not supposed to see. But yeah, that's what happened yesterday. And you know me, I'm a big worrier and I hate to be a bother and to inconvenience people, but even I am very confident in our decision to go in, and the midwife was so strict with us. She was like, she looked us dead in the eye and she was like, you have done the right thing and you must come in again if this happens again. I don't care if it's like 3 days time, I don't care if it's 3 weeks time, every single time you are worried like this, you must come in because you've done the right thing. And it just made me feel so much better, because I don't know, you just feel like you don't want to be a bother. The NHS is so stretched as it is, and yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? But she was amazing, and I am happy with the decision that we made to go in. I think we did the right thing. Well, I know we did the right thing, but yeah, it was a little bit scary at the time, because you are just sort of sat there like, oh, you know, but it's what it's for. It's why that assessment unit exists, you know? So yeah, that is that. I will let you know how I get on later. I'm sure baby is absolutely fine. They've been kicking me this morning, so there we go. It's just, yeah, it's a roller coaster, isn't it, this whole pregnancy thing? But apart from that, everything's good. I need to drink some water, because yesterday I made sure to drink so much water, like my tummy was bursting, and I think it really did help my nausea. So I reckon being dehydrated triggers that a little bit. So I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna down a pint of water now before I leave, and stay hydrated. Make sure that you are staying hydrated as well, whether you're pregnant or not. Very important. This is your daily reminder. Hello team. It has been a long old day. It's currently about 4:30 and I got back in about an hour ago. It was a long wait again. I wasn't expecting it today, I think, because I had a weirdly specific appointment time, but I think they were running about 2 hours, 2 hours behind today. So I think I was there for about 3 hours in the end, but it really wasn't a problem. I sat there and I wrote a blog post that I was going to write tomorrow, so managed to do some work. I didn't take any snacks with me, so I've just come back and wolfed down a jacket potato because I was starving. But obviously because I was on my own, I didn't want to leave the waiting room to go to the cafe or the vending machine or anything in case they called my name and I missed my slot. So yeah, I was sat there like desperate for a wee for ages because they didn't tell me whether I needed a full bladder or not. Turns out I didn't. So I was just like, can I please go for a wee before you do this? And they were like, oh my God, yeah, please go. I was like, thank you. I was about ready to burst. But yeah, baby is okay. Everything is okay. I didn't look at the screen while they were doing it because I didn't want to accidentally see anything, but we got a little picture and I can show that to Chris later. And yeah, everything is apparently absolutely fine. They're measuring perfectly. The amniotic fluid and everything is at the right amount. They're growing really nicely and their weight is about where they'd expect them to be currently. So everything is fine. They were also kicking me all over the place when I was in the waiting room. So I feel a lot better today. They're obviously, you know, they've realised that they scared us yesterday and they need to give us a few more boots. Apparently they're head down at the moment. So, and that makes sense because I've been feeling them right at the top, like in the middle of my tummy, about there. So I was like, oh my God, I've got cheese all over me. I opened the grated cheese to put on my jacket potato. It went everywhere, so I'm covered in cheese. Yeah, I've been feeling them about there and it now makes sense because that's where their feet are currently. So yeah, really glad that we went in and again the midwife was like, you must come back in if this happens again. Don't feel like because you've come in once you can't come in again. We need to see you as many times as it is necessary. But fingers crossed we won't have to go in again. I think I said that last time. But yeah, so it's all good. Everything is fine. I just feel a bit drained, I think, because it's been a very long day and I've got some work that I need to catch up on now. So I feel like I'm just a little bit behind, but it doesn't matter. That's all that matters, is that we know baby is safe and everything's all cool. And I'm very grateful for the fact that the NHS even exists and they were able to fit us in so quickly. And everyone was so kind and so lovely. And I'm also grateful for the fact that I work for myself and I was able to take that time off today and go to the appointment, because I think it would have been really stressful being there and like worried about getting back for work, you know, if you thought you were only popping out for a little appointment and then it turned into 3 hours. So there's that. There's lots to be grateful for today. So yeah, just really happy, but I'm tired now. I didn't really sleep that well last night. I mean, we got back quite late from the hospital, I think about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't really sleep well last night. And I'm just slowly coming down from my hangriness. I was driving home and I was like, no, I really need to eat something stat. So definitely next time I'm taking snacks. I need to have some like emergency snacks in my handbag, I think. I feel like I could have a nap now, but I can't. I've got work to crack on with. But anyway, yeah, everything's fine. Baby is fine. And they just wanted to give us a little bit of a scare, didn't they? Welcome to 27 weeks. Welcome to my office. Just doing some work down here, editing our little pregnancy vlogs, and I thought I would update you on this week. It's the last week of the second trimester. Can you believe it? We're literally gonna be in the third trimester in a couple of days and it's mad. I feel like I just want it to slow down. It's going way too quick. But I must admit I was starting to get a little bit nervous for the third trimester because Bump is large and in charge. Let me see if I can show you. I feel like it was pretty big the last time you saw it, but it is well and truly bumping now. My goodness me. Can you believe it? Can't believe it. This is like about 6 p.m. so I have like had lunch and everything, so maybe a little bit of bloating, but yeah, I feel like my belly button is clinging on for dear life. But this is pregnant. Wow, she do be very pregnant. So I'm just in my my Prego leggings. These are from Baby Go. They're actually really nice, and then some like long line vests from ASOS that fit really nicely, and then just my other normal clothes that kind of just go around everything. I've got a few maternity dresses, like the bodycon ones, because I'm really loving showing off bump. But apart from that, I'm just kind of in leggings, in my maternity jeans, and lots of jumpers at the moment because it's very cold. I've got the fire on. Oh, it's very chilly. So yeah, Bump is large and in charge, which means the backaches and shoulder aches have really started. So this week I've weirdly got lots of rib pain, which apparently is very normal. So everything just starts stretching, but all in like the intercostal muscles around your ribs, around my back, and everything just very, very sore. You can just feel everything kind of like stretching. Yeah, Chris has been having to give me like little back massages. We call them cat massages. You know, like when cats like pad things. So you have to be very gentle. So he's been giving me little cat massages. And my shoulder, between my shoulder blades, like the ribs muscles between there, they're very, very sore at night time, especially when I'm trying to sleep. So he's been amazing, helping me out with that. Top tip though, if you don't have anybody to help you, tennis ball up against a wall. So grab yourself a tennis ball, put it between your back and the wall, and just sort of like rub yourself up and down the wall like Baloo on a tree from the from Jungle Book. It actually really works. I've picked up a lot of tips for back pain over my years because if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I have quite a few lower back problems. Touch wood. I can't find any, my head. I haven't really had like major back problems for a good sort of few years now. But I did a few years ago have a lot of issues. So I'm a little bit worried that they might start creeping back. I've definitely felt some kind of like lower back pain on my left hand side. That was where my sciatica was before, so I'm fully expecting that to come back in the 3rd trimester, which makes me a little bit nervous because I know how painful it can be. But yeah, apart from that, everything's good. I just get very tired, very out of breath, very achy. It kind of like wakes me up at night time. Like I'm still sleeping, like I can still drop off really nicely, which I'm very happy about. But I definitely sort of wake up every time I roll over now, because it's a bit of an effort to roll from side to side, and obviously no sleeping on your back. So weirdly, I never sleep on my back, but in this pregnancy I've just really wanted to, but you're not supposed to. So that's why my pregnancy pillows really come in handy, because it physically stops you from rolling over, which is great. But yeah, so when I have to roll from one side to another, because my hips sometimes get a little bit achy, but not too much. Again, I think that's the pregnancy pillow really helping. I can't recommend that Pharmadoc one enough. It's so, so good. I think Chris is ready to chuck it out the window because it's so big. But I love it, it's great. But yeah, I think everything, it just aches when you roll over. So I do find myself sometimes waking up when I roll over, but then I can tend to get back to sleep. A few nights I tend to, like around 5 AM, for some reason I'm like wide awake. And I struggle to drop back off straight away then, but eventually do, so it's fine. Sorry, I'm very gassy. I get lots of hiccups as well. Baby is definitely growing like further up. So yeah, oh yes, actually that's the point, heartburn. So a few days ago I had like a horrendous episode of heartburn. So I don't tend to get a lot of indigestion or heartburn normally. I've had it a couple of times when I've like eaten. I think I had like some burnt chili, because I like spicy things. I think I had some like really burnt chili, and I woke up in the middle of the night, I thought I was having a heart attack. I was like, what is this? It was heartburn. But the 2 times I've had it before, a little paracetamol and some Gaviscon, absolutely fine, not a problem. Pregnancy heartburn, oh, it's a whole other ball game. My goodness me. It was like, honestly, it was like, I felt like I was having a heart attack all day. I had Rennie, I had Gaviscon, I took paracetamol, I did all of the at-home remedies like chewing on oats, chewing gum, all this kind of stuff like peppermint tea. Sorry, I made a little decaf coffee and I just realised I've forgotten about it quick. Oh, that's nice. The Starbucks decaf pods for Nespresso, very, very good. I know we can have some caffeine a day, but I tend to just have 1 cup of tea a day and that's me done. But I do love a decaf coffee. I just love the taste of coffee. Perk me up a little bit, keep me going as I'm working a little bit late. What was I saying? Yeah, I tried everything. Nothing was taking it away. So yeah, the next day I phoned the doctors and I was like, what can I do about this? Seriously. You have to be really careful what you take, don't you, when you're pregnant? And she was like, you've tried Gaviscon? I'm like, yep. Maxed out on it. Didn't do anything. Didn't even take the edge off. It was horrible. Like I was just down for the count like the whole day. It's really, really bad. Like I could feel the pain in my back. It was like it was burning a hole right through me. She was like, have you tried Rennie? Tried Gaviscon? Nothing worked. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm dying. She's like, okay, I'm gonna prescribe you omeprazole, which is totally fine to take in pregnancy. She was like, I want you to take 1 a day until the end of your pregnancy. I'm gonna give you like a 3-month supply of it. Just do it, and it will save you. So yeah. I'm on omeprazole now and it took it away almost instantly. So obviously I am not a doctor. Please do consult your doctor with anything like this. But for me, it's really worked. It's just absolutely saved me. I think they don't like to prescribe it unless you've tried all the over-the-counter stuff and it hasn't worked, which it just wasn't doing anything. I couldn't believe it. Because like I said, when I've had it, the last couple of times I've had it, a bit of Gaviscon, paracetamol, fine. Nothing was working on this. So I think omeprazole like reduces the amount of stomach acid you've got, so it's less likely to sort of lick up and burn your throat off. So yeah, that was a bit of a lifesaver having that, and the doctor was really great. But apart from that, I think that's it. First experience of pregnancy heartburn, horrendous, never want to repeat it, and very, very achy all over. My skin is okay. I feel like that's that spot I had like 2 weeks ago. It's definitely left a scar, hasn't it? But apart from that, my skin is okay. My hair is still very dry. It needs a wash, so it looks a bit greasy, but it's just very dry. My skin on my legs and everywhere is dry, so I'm having to moisturize all the time, which is a chore, but it's fine. And yeah, I think that's it. Majorly craving chocolate still. Cannot get enough of the stuff. Got a little Kinder Bueno advent calendar, so I very much look forward to that every day. But the problem is when I eat one, I'm like on it then. I'm like, I've got to have more. I've never been like this with chocolate, ever. I could like have a chocolate bar, I'd be like, that was nice, chocolate bar. Gone, out of my brain. Now, I'm like, I'm rabid. Like I have one, I'm like, I've got to have more, like frothing at the mouth. Oh, it's bad, it's bad. So I've gotten into hot chocolates. I've gotten into like the options, lower calorie hot chocolates. So, because some hot chocolates are really like packed full, you may as well just have a chocolate bar. So yeah, that kind of like, if I have one of those in the evening, that kind of like satiates a need. So I don't eat like an entire selection box every night, because I could quite easily, very much so. And I'm just starving all the time still. So hungry, like majorly hungry. And I know that you can have, you need some extra calories in the 3rd trimester. So as of next week, it's game on. But yeah, I'm just constantly ravenous. So hungry. I could eat like an entire roast dinner and be like, that was a nice snack. When's the main course coming? I'm just starving all the time. So yeah, I'm just trying to focus on getting good nutrition in. So, you know, still eating my chocolate when I want my chocolate. That's another reason why I only have 1 cup of tea a day, because probably all the chocolate that I'm eating is boosting me caffeine intake. But yeah, so I still have all those things, and sometimes if I'm really craving McDonald's or whatever, I'll just have one. But I'm really trying to be as healthy and as nutritious for baby as I can be, and eating a variety of different foods, because I think apparently they can start tasting what we're eating. So all of my strong tasting foods, hopefully they'll have a good palate, we'll see. They all end up just eating chicken nuggets and chips, don't they, let's be honest, at some point, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, lots of fruit, lots of veggies, nuts, that kind of thing, oats, got me all bran, still on that, and just staying hydrated, because staying hydrated definitely does help the nausea. I've been a bit lax with it the last couple of days, and I'm feeling low-key sort of nauseous now, so staying hydrated is key, definitely. And yeah, just trying to keep up my walking. I do occasionally go to the gym and just go on the cross trainer, but I don't do anything strenuous at all. Do some like yoga, like pregnancy yoga off YouTube at home, which really helps just for stretching, really helps my back. I've got a birthing ball now. It's just currently inflating upstairs, because it needs to be like 80% inflated, and then 24 hours later you finish inflating it and then you can sit on it. So that's just currently doing its thing upstairs, so I'll show you that next time. So I thought I could like sit on that at night time for a little bit, stretch my back out, and yeah, just generally just doing my best as much as I can, because obviously getting tired and wanting chocolate, and you know, really cold, like, because it's so cold outside, like it's literally gone freezing and it's super frosty. My back really hurts when it's cold anyway. Pregnancy back hurts even more. So I'm actually tempted to like have a look and see if I can find some of those you know, those back pads that you stick on your skin and they sort of self-heat over the space of a day. If I'm going to be out and about a lot, I'm going to get some of those in, because they used to really help me with my back problems. Keep it warm, it stops it from seizing up. And my boobs hurt when it's cold as well. I asked this on Instagram the other day. I was like, does anybody else's boobs just like feel like they're on fire when it's cold? And apparently that's the thing. Also when you're breastfeeding as well, so maybe like things are kicking off, milk ducts are developing, I don't know. But yeah, they really hurt when it's cold. So I'm tempted to get some of those hand warmers and shove them down my bra to keep those nice and toasty warm, so they don't feel like my nipples are gonna fall off. But apart from that, genuinely, everything's really good. I am enjoying being pregnant. I am low-key a little bit nervous about the third trimester, because I'm just like, this bump is growing super fast. I feel like I'm gonna be massive by the end of it, and I'm already like struggling to kind of like, you know, move around, and I seize up quite quickly and stuff. How am I gonna do another 3 months of this growing at this rate? I feel like I'm just gonna be like a balloon that's just gonna pop at some point. So I'm a little bit nervous about what's to come in the third trimester in regards to that, but whatever comes, we will deal with it, you know? We've come through a lot so far, and I think we can do the rest. So yeah, it's all great. Yeah, my friend is like nearly ready to pop herself. I think she's got like 4 more weeks left. So that's really exciting. I'm getting like super excited for her, and then my brain's like, don't forget, a couple months later you've got to do the same thing. So yeah, it just feels like it's really a really happy, lovely time filled with lots of joy and new babies. So yeah, life is good. Anyway, I'll leave it here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the third trimester. Oh, how big is baby this week? I think baby's the size of a cauliflower this week. That's big, isn't it? I've got a cauliflower in there. My goodness me. Yeah, it's quite big, isn't it? And it gets so much bigger as well. I'm stuffed.